Alright guys, welcome back to the channel for episode 3 of A Day in the Life of a Hotshot Trucker. I'm Tyler, and man, did I get myself into a predicament this week. So it's Tuesday, I'm on my way to pick up a load. The roads are completely solid ice, and yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So I left my house this morning at about 5 a.m., gave myself almost double the time to get to the pickup because it's about a 100-mile deadhead, and I'm still going to be late. There's nothing I can do about it. It's going to be terrible. Chain law is completely in effect almost for the entire length of the journey. The cargo is 2 crates totaling 28 feet, 4,000 pounds, 4 foot wide, and they're 10 foot tall. So not too bad. The wind sail I'm not a real fan of, but yeah, so this load was posted yesterday on the load board for less than $3.50 a mile. I called and I explained, hey, I'm a local here and chain law is going to be in effect. We have a massive winter storm, and I negotiated my way up to $5.50 a mile. So as long as everything goes good, hopefully everything goes good, guys. That's just what we're hoping for. All right, guys, stay tuned. Keep you guys updated. All right, guys, here we are getting loaded here with this big Walmart sign. I think this crane can barely lift this. All right, guys, here we are. We are loaded, and this is going to Walmart. It's their big sign. So 2 crates. It's actually turned out to be about 5,500 pounds, a little heavier than anticipated, but no big deal. Super simple, 4 straps and go. Just climbing up there was a bad time. They actually brought that ladder out, and they actually went up there and put my strap protectors on there for me. So which was nice. They helped me out. So but yeah, guys, let's hit the road. Gonna be chaining up here soon when I get closer, because the weather's a lot better, and I'm gonna try to hold out on chaining up as long as possible, but eating my SpaghettiOs because I left my breakfast on the counter. All right, guys, here we are on the side of the road. Just got done chaining up. As you can see right there, right as I was done, a state trooper came by and told me that the chain law is no longer in effect for the spot that I'm chaining up at until the next spot. But he was like, if you're going any farther, you might as well just chain up now. But yeah, I got my ass kicked because I've never had to chain up before, but we got her done, and let's keep going. All right, guys, giving you an update here. We made it to Silverthorne here, or through Silverthorne, I should say. We got about an hour left of chain law driving. Had a couple exciting things happen. The chain, I'll show it to you in a second. One of my chains loosened, and it broke one of the rungs. I had to, or links, I should say. I had to use my bolt cutters because it was beating the piss out of my fender well and my airbag system. So thank God I had bolt cutters, or it would have been a bad day. And 2, up on top of that load up there, I had a piece of plastic flapping, and I set off the over height sensor for the Eisenhower tunnel. So, and I didn't know it was for me because I measured the load, and by the time I realized, I got to like the second, because there's like the first warning where you turn off, and if you go past that, there's a second one. And literally they turned the lights red on the interstate and sounded the alarm, and then once I realized it was me, I started to pull over, and then they turned it green, so at least I didn't screw anybody over. I just looked like an idiot. But yeah, there was a piece of plastic flopping up there that triggered the over height sensor. But yeah, here, let me show you this tire chain real quick. All right, guys, so what ended up happening was on these auto tightening systems here, it got a bunch of snow in it. You can see there's still some remnants. Well, basically, long story short, it packed up a bunch of snow and it ended up opening, which there's 2 of them. They both opened, of course, both of them. And the tire and the chain got loose to where you can see I'm missing a link here. It should look like this, but it looks like this. So what ended up happening was it ended up getting pinched, and then it snapped, and then this was flopping around inside. I have all the metal inside the cab, and then I got real lucky because my airbag system back here didn't get damaged, and that's what I was more worried about than the truck. I could care less about the truck paint and all that stuff. I'm worried about the airbag system. But yeah, I got it figured out. We learned a good lesson like we always do, and let's keep on trucking. Stay tuned, guys. All right, guys, we made it. We are literally right in the front of the Walmart, taking up all the damn room. So we made it though. All right, guys, how's it going here? We got everything accomplished today. Drove through the mountains, dropped the Walmart sign, dead-headed over to Grand Junction. We picked up these 2 trailer mounted generators, and now we are at the hotel. We knew that it was going to be close on weight, so went and scaled in, and I scaled in at 25,900 pounds. So I've got 100 pounds to spare. I'm sitting at about a quarter of a tank. Everything went good today. We made it in one piece. Minor damage to the truck. I got some busted plastic from the snow. I'll show you here. So the snow got up in there and busted the. It didn't even break. I think it just popped it out. So I'll fix that in the morning. Couldn't be happy with how today went. You know, we made it safe. We got another load, and then to follow it up after we drop these off tomorrow, I should be getting another load from local business, which will get me home. Literally will get me home. So that'll be some good extra money to drive home, because I was planning on probably just heading home, but that'll be perfect. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll talk in the morning. All right, guys, good morning here. Everything went good. Got some good sleep last night. Slept about 10 hours straight. I was incredibly tired. Gonna be some good weather today. It's supposed to be sunny all day. It is cold right now, but we don't got to worry about chain law or anything all the way back to the Front Range. The shipper actually called me this morning for these 2 generators, and he's actually bringing me a cardboard box full of filters for them. So I'm waiting for him to show up so I can get those loaded and head out. All right, so we got 2 trailer mounted generators. They weigh about 5,000 pounds a piece. I'm about to get some diesel, but I'm only going to get half a tank because I don't want to risk scaling in overweight, because I got one port I got to go through if it's open. So, but yeah, guys, super basic load. We'll get this dropped off early afternoon today, and then if all goes well, we should have a load waiting to get us home. So stay tuned. All right, so this is the Golden Gate Auto and Truck Plaza here in Silk, Colorado. But read this. How in the hell can you claim to be a truck stop if you don't allow overnight parking and if you're gonna fine people for idling? All right, guys, here we are. We are at the unloading site. We are unloading a little bit different than I planned, and we'll go ahead and talk about that here in a little bit. But here we are. Since the last time we talked, my truck went into DEF system failure, and we will talk about that. I was able to get it fixed so I can get home tonight, but we're going to go ahead and talk about a lot of stuff after this, so stay tuned. All right, guys, here's an update on how this shit show is going. So the machine he had can't lift it off like what I was told, so we're having to spin the second one on the trailer to pull it down the mega ramps, and this is getting more and more all the safety, but like every second. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, we got her spun around with the use of maximum sketchiness with 4x4s and pieces of lumber wood for your fireplace. We only almost slightly knocked it off the trailer, but thankfully we didn't. So yeah, we're going to talk about this for sure. All right, guys, well, we made it to our final pickup of the day. We got lucky here. We made it we made it in time. Unfortunately, we won't be able to drop this off till the morning. Which is fine, because I work for these people all the time, and they're really great customers and really awesome to work with. I told them everything that happened today with the DEF system, the unloading, basically how nothing went according to plan. So I'll just take this home tonight. I'll drop it off in the morning. Well, let's go over this. It's about a 9,000 pound skid, and standard 4-point tie down. And I usually just run the chain or something over the top, but just how this one's lined up, I just did it like this. Jesus Christ, that's a loud noise. But this is not the best way though, because these can sometimes slide on the bucket. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, let's get this home and call it a day. So stay tuned, guys. All right, guys, remember how I literally just said like 5 minutes ago, don't hook it how I did? Just hook it like this, because now I had to drive down the road. It lasted about 3 bumps, and I had to pull over and fix it. So just do it this way. Don't do it that other way, and don't be stupid thinking that you're going to save yourself time by being a little lazy, because I just costed myself even more time trying to fix it and put myself at risk, even though I'm on a really empty road. But just do it this way, and don't be lazy. All right, guys, we are getting fuel on our way home here, and I wanted to talk about today. So really grateful how today turned out. It could have been so much worse. I mean, even this trip, we've seemed to have had like the chain problem. I've had a couple other issues that I haven't put on video, but nothing severe. Two most severe was the broken chain issue and then the DEF problem. Basically, you always got to be prepared, guys, especially as a hotshotter. You have to think that there's nobody out here to help you, so you got to try to set yourself up for success. Like, I carry a trailer aid for any flat tires. It's a ramp you drive up on for the trailer, makes it easy. I carry 20-ton bottle jack. I got all kinds of equipment to keep me going or get me out of situations if I can. Like, I use my bolt cutters. I know a lot of guys don't carry bolt cutters. Definitely, if I wouldn't have had them, it would have been a very different trip. And I always carry 2.5 gallons of blue DEF in my truck. And let me tell you, if I didn't have that today, not only would I have had to stop to buy some, but who knows? You know, I might have been somewhere where I couldn't get any, and my truck was I was 130 miles from going into limp mode. Basically, I got DEF out of a pump, like I've done. I've heard from guys that say don't do that because you can get bad DEF. But I did it anyways, and guys, I'm telling you, spend the extra money to buy the box DEF. Watch out though, it does have shelf life, so you got to keep it. You got to store it properly, and you got to use it. Definitely, guys, I hope I hope my DEF system doesn't have any damage from getting bad DEF. But just going forward, I will get the box DEF. Let's talk about the unloading. So one of the most frustrating things that I hate about this business is there's always miscommunications between the shipper and the receiver. This was a private load. A guy contacted me for it. He sold it privately to the receiver. The receiver told him that he had a way to get him off. The shipper thought that meant he could lift him off the trailer. He couldn't lift him off. So you saw some of the sketchy video. Obviously, during when it was getting real sketchy, I didn't film because I was literally, we had to take the 4x4s out of my truck. Another thing to carry, always carry dunnage. I carry I think I carry a total of like 20 or 30 feet of 4x4 in my truck bed. And if I wouldn't have had that, we would have been screwed. Of course, the guy didn't have any way to like brace the trailer tongue, but we had to, long story short, we had to spin the second trailer around. I think it was the red one. We had to spin it around, and it was super sketchy. It literally almost fell off the trailer, and then we put it on the blocks, and he unhooked the skid, and he bumped it, and the 4x4s collapsed, but they held enough to where the trailer didn't nosedive off of my trailer. So it could have been a really, 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 really bad day. But you know what, guys? We're going to be home tonight. We got money on the trailer that we're going to drop in the morning. And look at this, though. This is the highlight of the day. I'm getting diesel right now for $4.20 a gallon. All right, guys, we're sitting at the diesel pump. Don't do this unless nobody's here, which nobody is. It's just me, and there's plenty of other pumps open. So, yeah, don't be that guy that blocks diesel pumps. Literally, people get in fights over that. But I wanted to talk about something really important. So first and foremost, though, $4.20 for a gallon of diesel is the cheapest I've paid for diesel since I started hotshotting. So that's pretty awesome. But guys, you really have to try to always find a bright side. Even when stuff goes wrong, at the end of the day, you have to remember it could always be worse. Almost in every situation, it could almost always be worse. That was kind of the mindset that I kind of developed in the military when stuff was just always shitty. We went through a long phase of just bad morale. Stuff was shitty. And eventually I had to change units because I reached a point where I couldn't take it anymore. because it was just such a toxic environment for the unit I was in. But through that time, though, I did my best to find a bright side until, basically, until I couldn't find a bright side anymore. But the point I'm getting at is, guys, even when stuff goes wrong, like, let's say that when my chain system broke, it did actually break that piece of plastic. That could have been so much worse. I mean, it could have destroyed my airbag system. It could have ripped out brake lines. It could have done so much more damage. Sometimes in this business, like when my DEF thing happened today, I didn't get any of the actual emergency of me freaking out on the video, but it was scary. I mean, because I knew that with what it was telling me, I couldn't make it home. So that just goes even more to why I say it's so important to be close to home. Because when stuff goes wrong, let's say that I didn't fix that issue, I ended up putting in fresh DEF because I had contaminated DEF from the pump. Okay? Don't get DEF from the pumps, guys. I can't say that enough. That's a hard lesson that I've learned, that hopefully I didn't do any more damage. But during that, when it took me some time to realize, okay, hey, look, I'm in Colorado. Worst case scenario, the truck goes down somewhere. I'm going to be able to get the cargo off, and I'll just go somewhere good to where I can park. I was actually going to take it to the dealership where I bought it, was my plan, and leave it there, and then my wife could come get me. It'd be a terrible inconvenience for her, but I would be home. And guys, I cannot preach enough. The closer you can stay to home, the better, because I've said it. It's not if something happens, it's when. I got a chicken salad croissant sandwich from this sketchy truck stop. So if I will update you, unless if this kills me tonight, if this was a bad or good decision. But anyways, guys, stay tuned for tomorrow. Going to be dropping off this skid, washing the truck and trailer, and we'll see what happens. So stay tuned, guys, and have a great night. All right, guys, good morning. We're about to head out to go drop this skid. But before we take off, I wanted to let you guys know, in case you didn't know, like I didn't until I just found out on accident, on these Rams, they have a trailer light check mode that when you activate it basically goes through a cycle of activating all your lights, your turn signals, your brakes, your headlights, all that stuff to check for DOT stuff. So perfect it makes it a lot easier than trying to do it the old-fashioned way. All right, guys, giving you an update here. After we dropped off the skid, went and washed the trailer and the truck, and then I took the truck to the dealership because I couldn't get into it with my scan tool, so I took it into there, and they set me up a diagnostic appointment for next Thursday for my random happening DEF level sensor fault. So we'll get that addressed next Thursday. And then I found out that on the 2022 Rams, basically Chrysler has installed blocking stuff to where scan tools won't work, unless you have an official scan tool from Chrysler, which you can't get unless you're a dealer. So that's kind of bummed, but I guess I'll take my scan tool out of my truck. Because it won't work. The last time I hooked it up, like when I first got the truck, it worked, and then now I don't know. I don't know if somehow my truck got an update that blocked it or whatever happened, but it doesn't work anymore, and apparently it's pretty common for them not to work. But anyways, though, guys, let's go ahead and talk about work. So we landed a power-only load where I'm literally hauling 1,600 pounds worth of shingles, which is like 21 bundles in my truck bed, and it's going to be about an 800-mile round trip. So I'm heading home right now to drop the trailer, get some lunch. I'm going to head up north to Denver. I'm going to Cortez, Colorado, which is like the very southwest corner. So 21 bundles, 1,600 pounds on a small pallet in my truck bed. And it's going for, and I told the guy I'd do it for $1,200. So that'll be the week summed up. And then we got to do some TLC on some of the equipment when we get home. Probably going to save that though for the weekend. It's supposed to be nice on the weekend. Got to do lubricate all the binders and stuff like that, because the snow and the road grime and all that stuff, it really takes a toll on the equipment. So got to keep everything working nicely. And then a matter of fact, I just got another load booked off of the Veritread website. Some guy called and he booked a load, and it looks like I'm going to move it next Monday. So yeah, guys, it's kind of nice when stuff kind of falls together like that. Yeah, I'll keep you updated with how it goes. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching. All right, guys, here we are. We got loaded about an hour and a half ago. I didn't film during loading because I wanted to get the hell out of the city. On my way, we got about 4 hours left of driving tonight. The weather's starting to come in really bad, just wind. So I'll keep you guys updated. All right, guys, a little bit of update for you here before we roll out. So the receiver actually came to my hotel here in Durango, and we unloaded it. We cross-loaded him to another truck by hand. Now this is awesome because my quote was going to Cortez, which was, I think it's about 45 minutes down the road. So it's even farther. So it literally saved me all those time and miles. And literally they came to where I was parked for unloading, which is just insanely awesome. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna have some snow on the way back today. But we're gonna get home today. It'll be about a half a day of work. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about this awesome week that we just had. For this week, it started on Sunday and went through Friday. Sunday, I did a really good load. It's not in this video, obviously. It was in the one I posted separately just because to keep the video length reasonable. Check that video out if you want. It was a $7 a mile load. This week, I drove about 1,900 miles. I did have some personal miles in there, so it's a little bit of a, a guesstimate, a really close guesstimate, but I always round up. I drove about 1,900 miles this week, and I grossed $3,500. So that comes out to $1.84 a mile. Now, of those 1,900 miles, approximately 800 and change were power only for the shingles load. So technically then my rate per mile is actually even higher because my expenses when you're not pulling a trailer, like literally I drove 900 miles and I still had just under 3/8 of a tank left of diesel. So it cuts down your fuel cost, it cuts down on your wear and tear, all that stuff. So technically we are sitting well over $2 a mile just because the cost of dragging the trailer is about 20 to 25 cents a mile, and so on and so forth. So it was a fantastic week. Truly, it's probably my best long working week that I have had since I've been in business. So now let's talk about how much of that I worked though. Okay. So for my duty hours time, I worked a total of 53 hours. So I had about 7 hours. I had 7 hours to spare for the week, and not including those hours, all the extra hours I had to work, like invoicing, the maintenance. Like Monday was all day off the clock; it was all maintenance, and then just various other stuff I had to take care of as an owner operator. I probably worked about 70 hours this week. It's probably about a pretty close estimate to how many hours we got. But it was awesome. It was a good week. You can't complain. But yeah, let's talk about next week. Next week, I am already booked the entire week. So we will talk about that next week. Don't want to spoil it. And then, but next week's probably going to be a short week, guys. It's probably going to be a 3-day work week for sure. Thursday, we are dropping the truck off to get some codes for that DEF level sensor fault thing that keeps randomly popping up. So we got to get that at least addressed and diagnosed to start that headache. And then, yeah, we'll see. I think I might just take Friday off next week. So we'll see what happens. But for sure, we're already booked Monday through Wednesday for sure next week. But yeah, guys, that sums it up. Next week is hopefully going to be a really good profitable week as well. I really appreciate all you guys watching this. I know it was a pretty long video, but this was definitely a long week, especially for me. That's why I said earlier why I didn't include Sunday. That's a whole separate video because that was a very, very unique and pretty awesome experience. Yeah, guys, stay tuned for episode 4. If you really enjoyed this video, please shoot me a like and a subscribe on this video. If you got anything you want to say, any comments, questions, anything like that, please don't hesitate to throw them in the comment section. I will respond to you. Guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. We're supposed to have decent weather here. It's time to go inside, and I think I'm going to go take a nap because I am absolutely exhausted. So thanks, guys. Thanks again. Have a good one.